The error EC code in TCL air conditioners is commonly associated with voltage supply issues or communication failures between the power supply board and the intelligent power module. To resolve this issue, follow these steps. 1. Disconnect the air conditioner for several minutes, then reconnect and power it on to see if the EC error disappears. 2. If the error persists, turn off the unit, disconnect it, and inspect the external connections of the air conditioner. 3. Using a multimeter on the AC voltage scale, measure the voltage supplied by the external grid. If the value is unstable, consider using a voltage stabilizer and check the connections from the external power grid. 4. If the problem continues, inspect the external unit and its electronic control modules. Disconnect the unit, open the external unit, and perform a visual inspection for any issues. 5. Disconnect the connections, check their condition, clean the connections, and ensure there are no cut wires. Also, check the condition of the wires that connect to each electronic module in the external unit. Reconnect and power on the unit to see if the error disappears. 6. If the error persists, observe the LEDs on the electronic boards. If a board does not light up, the problem is likely in that particular electronic module. 7. To check a specific electronic module, verify the presence of voltage at the connectors. Refer to the data for each connector. Sometimes, the issue lies with the electrolytic capacitors or the voltage regulators. For example, a voltage regulator labeled 7805 should output 5 volts. Check for faults in the PFC circuit, following the recommendations that we will see in the next steps. 9. If the LEDs light up or blink, it can indicate that the board is generating DC voltage, and it is advisable to focus on the IPM circuit, which is responsible for distributing this generated voltage. If no LEDs light up, it is advisable to focus the inspection on the PFC voltage generation circuit. 10. When the LEDs do not light up, to check the PFC circuit, ensure that the DC voltage appears within the board, especially the voltage at the output of the PFC rectifier bridge. When the equipment is powered by 110 volts AC after the rectifier bridge, the voltage should be around 150 volts DC, and when the equipment is powered by 220 volts AC after the rectifier bridge, it should be around 300 volts DC. 11. If the DC voltage after the rectifier bridge is correct, now, without energizing the board, check for electrical continuity between the input and output of the PFC circuit coil or reactor. 12. Check the correct resistance values present in the PFC circuit as well as the state of the diode, and, of course, visually inspect and test the capacitors with a capacitance meter in addition to checking for electrical continuity in the board tracks. 13. Check the condition of the IGBT transistor in the PFC circuit.